In the view of the radical Democrats, America is the source of the world's problems. They want to disrespect our flag, burn the stars and stripes that represent patriotism and the American dream. They want to disrespect our national anthem by taking a knee while our armed forces lay down their lives every day to protect our freedom. They do not want the Pledge of Allegiance in our schools. Many of them don't want one nation under God. The Democrats want to defund and disrespect our law enforcement. The Democrats want an America where your thoughts and opinions are censored when they do not align with their own.
Wait, did you just hear yourself? You literally, just before that, talked about how people shouldn't be kneeling for the anthem and then said Democrats are the ones that want censorship. He went on, blissfully unaware of his own hypocrisy.
To the law enforcement officer who's being attacked, betrayed, and whose job they are trying to make extinct, my Father will fight for you. To all houses of worship and to all people of faith stripped of our religious freedoms and religious liberties, my Father will fight for you. To the voiceless, shamed, censored, and canceled, my Father will fight for you.
It's really incredible. This is the right wing that wanted to criminalize and stop boycotting Israel. This is the right wing that sent federal troops on peaceful protesters right outside the White House in Washington, D.C. That was Trump and Bill Barr and his whole gang. And Trump was just going to campaign rallies some months ago talking about how flag burning, which is a key bedrock free speech issue, should be illegal and people who burn the flag should be in prison for multiple years. And Eric Trump and the right is talking about free speech and cancel culture. There's nothing more canceling than throwing someone in jail for burning a flag. How triggered are you, you snowflakes? I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous, the hypocrisy. And my overall takeaway from it, though, is just how supremely untalented is Eric Trump. The guy is nothing except the son of Donald Trump, who's also aggressively untalented, just shameless and charismatic in his own bizarre way and willing to put himself in these situations that most sane people wouldn't be. He's just his son, his failboy son, who has had everything handed to him and now just works for his daddy's business and doesn't seem to be doing that good of a job of it, because the whole organization is under investigation for financial malfeasance, and Eric Trump is caught up in some of that legal trouble. The New York Attorney General's office is suing for a court order to force compliance with the subpoena for Eric Trump's testimony in the state investigation of several properties owned by the Trump Organization, according to court filings unsealed Monday. In the documents, which were filed on Friday in the state Supreme Court in Manhattan, Attorney General Tish James also accuses the Trump Organization of withholding or redacting thousands of responsive, non-privileged documents in a civil investigation into the valuation of the 4 Trump Organization properties, in addition to refusing to allow testimony. Eric, the third oldest child of President Donald Trump and the executive vice president of the Trump Organization, was scheduled to provide testimony for the investigation last month, but backed out of doing so less than 2 days before the interview was to take place. The company is now refusing to comply with the subpoena for Eric Trump, the filing says, citing those rights afforded to every individual under the Constitution. Drain the swamp, except not our swamp. We're against cancel culture, except if it's canceling the types of culture that we don't like, specifically culture associated with Black people. I mean, it's absurd. I'm not denying that cancel culture isn't a real thing. I think Alex Morse, the candidate in Massachusetts, who was the victim of a smear job put on by the UMass Amherst College Democrats in connection with the state Democratic Party. He's a progressive. They went after him. They tried to cancel him by smearing him and claiming he was some sort of sexual predator when he was obviously not. That's an example of it, but that's an outlier for all of the many accusations of cancel culture. It is a cultural phenomenon, but right-wingers think that it's just a cultural phenomenon that is so wrong because they're called out on their racism, their bigotry, their xenophobia, their hatred, etc. No, that's not cancel culture. That's you being problematic and having to face the music in that area. So stupid. And, once again, it's hard to pick. We know Ivanka's the smartest, but Don Jr. and Eric, they're both profoundly stupid, and their speeches were unique in their degrees of stupidity. I just found that particular aspect amusing to the nth degree, because he just was like, I'm against cancel culture, but no, these people who believe this need to be canceled, pretty much.